There's a fairly recent Harvard Business Review article that surveyed what most people use generative AI for. That's things like ChatGPT and Claude and apps using them. And the number one use for generative AI is, guess what? Therapy and companionship, which is kind of crazy, but understandable. It's a modern world that we live in. And so if you're using AI in this way, you probably want to be aware of the privacy implications of it. You're handing over very personal information to large companies with shareholders whose primary goal is basically to make as much money from your data as possible. Yes, they all have ways for you to opt out of training the AI with your data, but your information is still being stored on their databases because they need your information to make the AI respond in a more personalized way to what you're asking it. So if you're concerned about this, what are the alternatives? So option one will be to use open source models on your own device, on your computer, on your phone. At this moment, this still takes some work, some technical knowledge, but it's the only way to guarantee that your personal data doesn't leave your computer, basically, and doesn't get shared. The other option would be to use the same open source model, but have it hosted somewhere else, so you don't have to host it on your own machine. Easier to implement, but it's still on someone else's machine, even though it's a way better option than just giving your personal data to ChatGPT. Third option, there are enterprise versions of OpenAI, for example Microsoft Azure, and there are similar enterprise options for other LLMs, and because they are serving large enterprises with sensitive data, and these enterprises are willing to pay money for it, they have guarantees put in place where your information is not shared with anyone else and is not being used to train any other LLMs. But they still need to store your personal information so that they can give you output that's personalized to you. Well, what about specialized apps like journaling apps, note-taking apps, meeting transcription apps? Well, in the background, they are still using usually one of the more popular AIs or LLMs like OpenAI or Claude or Grok, and the end result is the same as if you are using ChatGPT. They're just providing a wrapper around these AIs. So when it comes to privacy, you have choices. They're not many at the moment, but you do have choices. And the most secure and private option is unfortunately the one that requires a bit more work on your part, a bit more technical, but the situation will get better, and this will improve. But the most important takeaway here is to understand that when you use popular AI services like OpenAI and Claude, your information is being stored on their servers, even though they may not use it to train the AI. And number two is that you do have options. Use open source on your own device if you want the most secure and private option.